Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, let me fill you in. If you watch my channel, you know my routine. I wake up probably before 1 o'clock at this point, 1 a.m., to start looking through news feeds for different stories to talk about here on the channel. And there's times when I find a story that I feel so strongly about, that it'll stick in my head. And I'll get up and I'll start making my bed and taking my shower and shaving and getting all ready to come out here and start my workup and make this video. And there's times when I feel so strongly about a story, it starts going through my head and I start thinking about what I'll talk about in the video. And I start getting this intense anxiety in my chest. Like I have to make this video. I have to talk, like seriously, like an intense anxiety to the point where I almost have to just get out here and make the video. Like just leave the shampoo in my hair and the shaving cream on my face. I'm not even kidding around. And I felt so strongly about this story today. All right. I'm not a big baseball fan. I played Little League when I was a kid. I was a fan when I was probably in my teens, but I don't watch it nowadays. This was at a Pittsburgh Pirates game, and this is a clip from Twitter, and right below in the video description I'm going to have all the links to I'll put the link to the video right on top, so you could watch the video and you could read the comments, because I was kind of pissed off when I saw the comments, because I didn't see the fight the same way as some of the people are saying on Twitter or on X, which doesn't surprise me at all. I rarely have the same view as people on X. Okay, so this was a game at Pittsburgh Pirates in Pittsburgh. I believe they were playing the San Diego Padres, I believe. I think it was probably Sunday or Monday night. Probably Sunday. And it's a video of one of the Pittsburgh Pirates employees, a tall black gentleman, getting into a verbal argument with a fan that was at the game. Now, the black gentleman, the Pittsburgh Pirate employee, I say he's probably about my height, probably a little shorter than me, about 6'1", 6'2", maybe. I'm 6'3". The Pittsburgh, the fan was wearing a backpack, and he was a white gentleman. I'd say he was probably about 5'11", and he's a little thicker. The black guy was a little skinnier, a little taller, and they're face to face, and they're arguing. And this, as I'm watching this, if you watch my channel, let me kind of back up a little bit. If you watch my channel, I've been clean and sober since October 23rd of 2006. And I've told you guys this before. Before that time, I didn't just use heroin and crack cocaine. I would go to after-hours clubs, motorcycle clubs, like HA, other clubs here in Connecticut, Los Alitos, Almighty Latin King Nation, and I got in a lot of fights. I had a lot of other money-making activities I was involved in, and I've told you guys before, this isn't something I'm proud of, but I've been in easily over 100 fights since I was younger, especially being tall and bigger and one of the biggest guys in my class. I was always that guy that somebody who wanted to look tough would go to and start with. I was always the big guy that somebody would want to make a name for themselves with. So I learned to fight at an early age. And I did a video not too long ago talking about this, that, I've always had this rage, just this. I used to get picked on, and I was quieter when I was like up to about 10 or 11 years old. And so I was 15. I was angry. I'd get in a lot of fights, but I was too scared to ever take a swing. Like, I'd get in the guy's face, and I was scared to actually, I'd want to hit somebody, but I couldn't do it. I was terrified. I just couldn't hit somebody. And then the first time I did it, it came easy. The first time I did it, I didn't even know I hit the guy. I just saw his head fly back. And it wasn't like on TV. It wasn't like, oh, my fist hurt. Oh, I think I broke my knuckles. I didn't even feel it. The guy's head just flew back. I broke his nose because I got wicked long arms, long reach, and I took karate after getting my nose broke. So I take a punch from here and drive it through. And after that, it came way too easy. All right, so I'm watching this altercation. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is, when you get faced, when I see two guys, I've talked about this at least a dozen times in my videos. When I see two guys getting nose to nose, like 3 inches apart. It is, I cringe. It is the stupidest thing you could ever do. This isn't a game of, I'm not touching you in the back of the family SUV while you guys are on vacation with your little sister. I'm not touching you. You can't, I'm not touching you, but I'm not touching you. No, that's not what this is. This is a what I would call a street fight. When somebody gets that close to another guy and you start yelling, the fight is on at that point. You have every expectation to get hit. When I see two guys face to face like that, inches away, this is what I learned to do, actually. This is why I cringe. If somebody ever gets that close to me, I first of all, I never let anybody get that close to me, but if anybody ever does get this close to me, just a square head using this part, I actually got 3 stitches right here from doing that before. That hurts too when you do that. And I cringe when I see people doing this. So these two guys are just like this close to, yelling at each other, and I hate seeing this. All right. And of course, like I said, the fight is already on at this point. I don't know why I don't know why guys do this if they think it's some manly thing. Like the white guy's got his hands behind his back, and he's in the guy's face yelling. And that is, I'm just dying watching this. It's like, this is the most vulnerable position anybody could ever put themselves in. He's actually got his hands behind his back. He's still got his backpack and his jacket on. He might as well just tie his hands behind his back and close his eyes and tell the guy to please hit him in the face, as far as I'm concerned, which the guy does. The black gentleman finally has enough. I can't hear what they're saying in this video, so I don't know what's going back and forth. But the black gentleman, the white guy, the white fan, says something, and the black gentleman, the employee, turns around and points behind him, and it seems like he's getting more angry at this point. I'm watching all the physical indicators, and he starts moving up on the white guy, and he just hauls off a nice punch and just bam, and that white fan doesn't even raise a fist. He just poop. He gets hit right in the face. And his hands are still just like a big dummy. His hands are just by his side like this. Bam! He gets hit again on the other side. And he, as far as I could tell, he didn't throw one freaking punch. What he did do was spit on the black guy, which again is the stupidest thing. If you're not going to defend yourself, if you're not going to throw a punch, the stupidest thing you could do is to infuriate the other person by spitting on them over and over again. This white guy is the stupidest, most biggest pussy I've ever seen. If you're not going to swing, if you have no intention of swinging, just walk away from the fight, instead of getting your ass kicked and then going away from the fight. All right. So the white guy gets hit a good four times at least. Like the first few punches were just back. And he doesn't even raise his freaking fists. So this tells me this guy doesn't even know this guy doesn't know how to fight, doesn't know how to defend himself. He's angry. He gets right in the other guy's face, but he just kills me. He's one of those guys that just lets his anger overtake him, and he's like playing the role of being a macho guy when he has no idea how to street fight at all. He has no intention of street fighting. He's just playing a role. He's just putting up a front, which is stupid because you never know who you're facing. You have no idea who you're doing this to, And I learned this at a young age. The other person could quite possibly be an experienced fighter who is not going to just let you go face to face with him like that. You're going to get your nose broken. You're going to get your teeth knocked out. This isn't TV. This isn't a game of I'm not touching you with your little sister in the back of your parents' SUV on vacation. This is an actual street fight. Okay, so the guy runs away. The pussy factor is going off the scale at this point. The white guy runs away, runs over. Then he starts taking his backpack off and his jacket off. I'm like, oh no, he's doing all the stuff he saw in movies. Taking off his jacket. Now he's going back. Still, he never throws a punch. And he spits on the black guy a couple of times. Now, on Twitter or X, or whatever you want to call it, they're seeing this from a whole different version. They're blaming the Pittsburgh Pirate employee, the black guy. Go figure, it's X. And they're actually saying that the employee spit first, which I did not see the employee ever spit once. It was the white guy that was spitting supposedly blood from getting his face beat in. So the black guy takes off his belt. Now, this is a move I'm familiar with, all right? I told you guys about this before. My dad died when I was 9. My mother dated 2 different police officers. First officer I kind of liked. My mom went out with him for a year. The second police officer abused me sexually. But there was one good thing he did teach me. One positive aspect I got out of the torture and hell that I got from this guy was he gave me a belt after I got in a fight when I was like 13 or 14 years old. And it had a big belt buckle because the guy tried to steal my ice skates when I was skating in a pond. And he said, Daryl, here's a belt. Next time that happens, the guy's bigger than you. Take the belt off, whip it around, and just clock the dude in the side of the head. This is a cop telling me this. In the side of the head, and using the belt buckle, just hit him with the belt buckle in the side of the head. It'll slash his face open and knock him out. That's the cop told me to do this. The black guy doesn't do this. He doubles the rope. He doubles the belt up and whips the guy down in the legs or the midsection, which is a waste of time in my view. It could have ended the fight really quick. It could have also been considered a deadly weapon if he used it like I wanted him to use it. And okay, so people come running over. Oh, there's children. Let's not fight. That's just ridiculous. You're at a baseball game. There's thousands of men. They're drinking. Just don't bring your kids to a baseball game. At least I don't know what to tell you. That's just the way life is, and it's not just now. It's the way it's always been. And then so they break the fight up, and this shorter white guy is still trying to get close to the black guy. The black guy, they separate him, and the black guy tries to walk away, and then the white guy comes back at him again, trying to get around the people breaking them up. And I could empathize with the black gentleman. I am the black gentleman when I get in a fight. That's me. The little white guy is just a guy who is playing a role, is doing things he saw on TV. He's got anger issues, but he has no idea how to fight. He has no intention of fighting. He has no balls to fight, but he's going to play the role of, like I said at the very beginning of this video, he's kind of looking like the aggressor. He's right in that other guy's face, then I forgot to mention this at the beginning. He's right in the black guy's face, and he puts his arms on either sides of the black guy's head, like going like this. Now, if somebody did that to me, man, they wouldn't even get their arms past their shoulders. If I saw their arms coming up like this next to my head, forget it. The black guy had too much patience as far as I'm concerned. So that they finally got broken up, and the white guy never threw one punch, but kept coming back. His I don't know what was left of his ego was trying to still look good, even though he had already gotten his ass severely kicked. He was still trying to come back and make some kind of ridiculous point and get punched in the face yet again. If you're going to get faced, first of all, don't do this. Do not get face to face. Never put yourself in that vulnerable position where your face is this far from another man's face. Because if it's a person like me, I'm just going to go bam, and I'm going to break your nose, and I'm going to break your teeth, and I'm going to knock you out just with my forehead. You won't even see it coming. If you're going to do this, defend yourself. If you're going to get face to face in a fight, just hit some. Don't talk smack. I've said this in videos. First of all, if you can walk away, walk away. But if you can't walk away, and the other guys are gonna, he's aggressive. He's coming at you. There's times when you can't walk away. You can't turn your back on the person in front of you. Stop arguing and just take the punch and just bring it up and bam, and then don't stop hitting until the guy is not moving on the ground. That's my advice to you. If you're gonna do this, if you have to do this, if you have to express your macho hormones, do it the right way. That's my advice for today. All right, I'll be back later with another video. You guys have a good and safe Wednesday. Have a good one.